Hopefully it'll work this time. You are live, so fantastic. Just give me a second here. All right, good. Again, sorry about that. So let's go ahead and take a strong deep breath in, just noticing where you are, noticing the space around you. And again, we're going to be here for about an hour. What we're going to do in this initial phase is just working on individuals, and then we're going to do the Moss's Medihealing Sundays. Okay, the Moss's Medihealing Sundays is where I guide you into a deep state of meditation, and we're going to be working on George Floyd because that's the topic of the day. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, it's his funeral today, and we're here in Minneapolis. So a lot of things going down as the world breaks apart. But right now, it's all about you guys till about 9 o'clock, and then how much please protect and stabilize. Peace. So this one's CP Life 123. And again, with my abilities, I can read you. I don't need anything else. I don't even need your real name to help you understand. So the way I do that is I tap into your, say, genetic makeup or the matrix and understand what is holding you back. So again, it's not psychology or anything like that. It's literally seeing the way you run your programs, your habits, your belief systems, and much deeper than that. Even the way, say, you get old, and then deleting those patterns for you. Okay, I know it sounds really wild, and it is, because people get, say, fantastic transformations. So this one, CP Life 123. Hi, Moss. Please protect and stabilize my niece from abusive parents, and please help me and my mom stay grounded. Strong. So when I see you, there's a lot of religion involved in there, and obviously it's not the religion that a Jesus, a Buddha, Muhammad would have practiced. So so with that, what do you do with that? You have to pull away, and even although religion is not working for you, and again, it's not the religion, it's just the way people have practiced it. It's just the way the church practices it for its control mechanisms. Again, it's not the same religion as a Jesus, a Buddha, Muhammad. If it were, you'd get the same results or very similar to that. So you would have to pull away from the religion the way you practice it. I'm not sure exactly why you still continue going to that say space. If it hasn't worked out for you, guys, change. Just fucking change. It's easy as that. So what I'm helping you do is actually pull away, help you understand, say, the darkness of the religion that you've gotten into. Okay, and that's how you get protected. It's almost like your niece. Well, her parents, which is either your brother or sister. It's almost like there's a pattern deep within. It's almost like they get, say, possessed or controlled. And again, that comes from a religion. So I would highly recommend doing, say, and I'll open that up. But as you say, disconnect people from that space, just know it gets a lot worse. And again, it's not me. It's just that you've got yourself into some deep shit, and when you come out of it, that's just the way it is. Okay. By the way, what I do is a tool. It's not a feel-good method or anything like that. And I shouldn't say that. It is a feel-good method after you get rid of all your bullshit that you've brought into, say, exponential intelligence. Okay. This one in last night's Roya _N_F. In last night's meditation, I was transparent. There was no internals or anything, just clear glass, like transparent body shape. Inside me was like starlight party. It was amazing. So fantastic. So what you're getting into really is that you're starting to understand, say, how this reality works, or basically how you create yourself here. You have to understand that this is not the real you. The physicalness of this reality is a reflection of you at your spirit level. I call it your vital force or your pure presence. So that is reflecting upon you, just like you would say reflect upon a mirror. So now you're understanding most individuals, again, I don't care who they are, how wealthy they are, or how much power they are, they're always operating from, say, the reflection. And that's why it gets really distorting, and they need more and more and more. We'll talk about that in today's Medihealing, the powers to be. That why do they want more? Why do they want more control? Why do they want that? Because it's never satisfying. The more they have, the worse it gets. It doesn't mean that you stay poor, though. Okay? It just means that you do it right. So, and I talk about that because I think a lot of times in the past you might have, say, damaged yourself, or almost sacrificed yourself to feel, say, that grandness. And that's not the way to do it. Yes, there's a pattern that you can see the grandness, but it's from an abuse, because both sides, euphoria and abuse, say, allow you to come into the present so strongly. And you feel the euphoria, but then in the past for you, again, what would happen is that you would have to be abused or abuse yourself, or get into, say, certain rituals and so on, to get into that darkness to see the light. That's a big no, because you'll always need that, say, abuse pattern. So disconnect you from that. You've done that, by the way, but let's just keep you safe. Okay, so really nice job. Oh, so what I was going to say to you is that now you've transitioned from, say, the physicalness into, say, the light. So not the reflection, but the light. Okay, really fantastic. Let's go to this one's Dr. J. Redman. Hey, Moss, can you talk to me regarding career trajectory? Sure. Your career is really, and you've done a fantastic job from what I'm seeing, but, your career is really, you come from it from a masculine perspective. So it doesn't matter what career trajectory that you're facing or you're going towards, because if you're coming from a masculine perspective, you would lose, say, your identity of feminine, from what I'm seeing. Yeah. So, but what you've done is really nice. You say, and maybe that's why you're thinking about the career objective, is that you're moving away from, say, success mechanisms, that Oprah uses, I don't know, Obama uses, or, all those famous women, even, the beautiful models, which is very destructive for them. So you're moving away from that. You're coming into a strong woman. And then, so that's what you're thinking. So the career seems like it stays the same, but you see it from a very, very different perspective, because it doesn't matter what you're really doing. The important thing is how you see yourself doing what you're doing. So there is a grander version of it, obviously, because, you've enhanced yourself, which is really fantastic. Really impressed with where you've been to where you are now. So, and it does expand quite a bit, but it seems like you're still in the same, say, career perspective. So, let's take a deep breath in. This is Joanne Hendricks. Please scan me. Sure. So, is it Joanne? Jojan? Sorry. So, anyway, it's whoever. And again, I don't need to know who. So the way that works, by the way, is very simple. You have like, you have an underlying, say, kind of like a telephone number. So, a telephone number, that's always stayed the same. So no matter if you use your real name, if I can't read your name, that underlying, say, frequency that I, say, tap into is your telephone number. So say you had a telephone number that said, I don't know, buy now, right? And you type in, or you push in the letters of buy now, and that's your telephone number. Or, you could change that, right? Because it's 10 digits, right? So whatever those 10 those 10 numbers denote the 3 letters, right? There's a ton of things that change, but they all go into, say, the same number. So I tap into, say, your IP address, or your, say, phone number, your spiritual IP address. So again, you can have a different picture, different name, it doesn't really matter. But for you is that, wow, It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 3, 4 different versions of you. Sometimes you even get confused on who you are. And it seems like you run a female tendency, but you're always burdened by masculine, say, frequencies over and over and over again. It's like your whole life is about burden, or your whole life is supporting, say, a masculine frequency. So it could be man or woman, doesn't really matter, but again, a masculine frequency. So a woman, that's really masculine. It doesn't really matter, like maybe your sister, or somebody like that. Yeah, your sister. So, or it could be your mom. Yeah, your mom feels like your sister too. So the big deal is, though, is like, say you get into, a relationship, any type of relationship, you'll be that support person. So when people are that support person, so to speak, what do? You're always burdened. So you would be the type of individual, like if you get older, you would most likely have, say, and again, I'm just giving you an extreme so you understand the pattern. It might be you, it might not be you, or there's probably somebody in your family that is. You would have a person that, say, would be handicapped. Like one spouse is handicapped, the other one isn't, and then the other one is a so-called, burdened by it. No matter how much you love somebody or not, it's a burden for that one individual. So that's the kind of, say, patterns that you would attract. It's not the best pattern. I mean, it's your choice if you want to keep it or not. But let's give you the choice. How's that sound? Because and the reason why I say that is because you identify with it so strong, and you hold on to things of burden so strong. It's like it's mine. It's like it's my badge of courage, and I earned this. But do you really want to earn that? A lot of people do, right? They've gone through hell and high water. What do? They hold on to that shit. And it's like, that's mine. Well, of course it's yours, but let's get rid of it if you want to change, right? You want to improve. You can't hold on to it and improve. So what I was doing for you is helping you, say, pull back and get to really see what the choices that you've made in the past. Sometimes it's kind of painful because, well, you get to awaken. Okay. Let's see. And again, guys, right back. Okay, see on how accurate I am. I know I'm very accurate, but for you guys, especially for the new people, it's like, well, this guy could be making it up. But again, so right back if I read you. This one is Sandy Woolley. Hi, Moss. I would be so grateful for you to work with me. Thank you, Moss. Sure. So when I see you, Sandy, it's almost like your family runs, say, a pattern of death. So what that means is that, say, somebody dies, or somebody has a tragedy, or somebody is ill, and then you never recover, or you never go beyond that, or it creates a dent in your life. And then it's like carrying that burden with, and then you're never the same. Say like something tragic happens, and this is where like phobias basically start, right? Say something tragically happened in an elevator for you. And now you're scared as hell when you enter elevators. So that kind of pattern. But it's not an elevator, it's not cars, it's not airplanes, it's like life in general. So it's hard for you to go forward. Although, you might be really, you might think that you're the opposite of what I just said. But the reason why you're the opposite, you have to force yourself to go, look, I am adventurous. Look, I am this, do this, and I do a lot of stuff, but deep down inside, one, you're fearful, so you prove to yourself that you're not, and then two, you don't go anywhere. So no matter what you do, you always come back to, say, wherever you are, or center, if you want to call it that. So let's disconnect that from you. Okay. If you put it another way, basically you can only go so far. You'd be on a leash. You can only go so far, and then you get snapped back. Okay. Time and time and time again. Yeah, like 6, 7, 8 times. So, and then you can only go so far in relationships, right? I know there's a lot of people guys on Facebook. Maybe it's the way I have the camera situated. I can't read the comments, so sorry about that. Next time around. All right. Wow, can help us do that too. This is Neglama 8090. Oh, totally. Yeah, I teach people. By the way, what I do or what my abilities are, it's not about me. I am actually, say, a prototype. Uh, I am actually normal, or the prototype of what we should be. Highly abundant. I'm 59 years old, and blood tests and all that show that I'm 25. Is all the stuff that we live in today's standards is total bullshit. It's a total lie. You don't have to live like that. You can redesign your life if you awaken to a higher level. But most people don't awaken, no matter what it is, through psychology or anything like that. Psychology, motivation, self-improvement, visualization, working your ass off, making a hell of a lot of money. That's nothing compared to the power that you have once you, say, connect like the way I do. And money and all that stuff that we, say, waste our time with actually shows up. It's not like you don't do without, but you actually do the bigger and better things. So whoever that was, yes. There's a human mastery class coming out, but seems like you might be kind of new. So for you, my friend, I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but there might be, say, blood type issues that run in your family. So I would really check your blood or do some kind of, say, blood cleanse. Again, I'm not a doctor, but I see some of the rest of your family have that type of issue. So you might want to watch it, or basically stay away from sugars. Oh, and you're allergic to wheat. Yeah, wheat. Wheat or corn. Anyway, just stay away from both. But you seem to have, the bigger picture is that you seem to have like a multiple identity. There's two of you. So there's one that's private and you only show to very few from what I'm seeing, and then one there's say a public figure, a public image. So those two, as you get older and older, what happens is that they start to separate, and you actually will have two identities. And then later on, this is where brain functions and so on like that get messed up. Okay, because those identities become so strong, it renders itself. Now you're playing the part, but kind of like being a typecast actor, you get, say, stuck in that, and then you create two identities of yourself, and that's what's happening for you. So life, as you get older, gets more and more confusing, and then, well, so let's just put you into one. Okay, just take a deep breath in. And for those who run those patterns as well, although you might have, say, really good abilities in one, say, reality, when you pull it into this reality, you forget half the stuff you learned, and so they don't mix and match either. So let's pull you into one, my friend. That's really easy. I know you've been working most of your life like this, which, oh shit. And I might be off, who knows, probably not. But around when you were really young, it seems like you used to watch your father either argue with your mom or threaten your mom, or that kind of feel as well. So not quite safe. So let's get rid of those patterns as well for you. Yeah. So there we go. Whoa. If that makes sense. So right in, buddy, let me know. This is Jonah. After doing one of the days of the 21 Medihealing, I felt sleeping and continued again, Medihealing and sleeping. That's really fantastic. Yeah, for you, it's really nice because, you're in your head so much that when you do the 21 days, your spirit starts to really awaken, right? Your spirit starts to really awaken, and then and as your spirit or your higher self, your pure presence, as they awaken, what happens is that it creates the most efficient path for you, just like water, going downhill. It'll create the most efficient path, right? In nature, or when you say connect, it creates the most efficient path, no matter what it is. Okay, people, places, things, whatever that needs to get the hell out of your way, they get the hell out of your way. Again, it doesn't matter what, if it's not true, it won't stand. It can't stand in your way. So that's where you are, including yourself. So basically it knocks you out. It helps you reset. So every time you awaken, you're different. You're different. It's like resetting a computer. So in this session, what I was doing is like helping you understand, say, the differences, like before you take a nap or sleep, and then after. There you go. And by the way, your abilities are really coming in. So you want to like really center yourself. Okay. This one. Oops. Just give me a second. We only got a couple minutes, so I'm not going to really read anybody live, guys. This one is Tally on 7. Hi, Moss. I feel like all the old patterns and identities are in me, causing disease and even my body changing, getting instantly fatter and swollen. Can you advise? Yes. So what's happening is that for you, you hold on to your stuff so much because, it's almost like I don't know if you've been abused or scared the hell out of you at some level. So you would hold on to say anything, no matter what it is, abuse patterns or whatever, to feel safe here. So for you, what would happen is that, as you separate your identity from, as you separate your real identity from all those things that you've held on to, you get to see all the patterns that aren't beneficial for you from a different point of view, right? Because say that you're drowning, right? Say that you're drowning, and as you're drowning, you'll hold on to anything, right, to save yourself. So basically, that's the way you are. So now you've come on, solid ground, stable ground, and what's happening now for you is that you're starting to analyze because you have time, right? You can see the patterns that you're running. So those patterns, and so you're getting fatter and your body's changing. Basically, what's happening is that you're going fast forward in time, going, well, if you don't change your pattern, this is what's going to happen to you. So, and also you're releasing, your mother or grandmother's patterns as well. So that's another thing for you as well. So as you again go forward and start to understand that, well, your identity is not you. You're almost kind of like a cookie cutter, 3/4 your life, grandma or mother's life, pretty much the same. Okay? So all those patterns that you're seeing, they're starting to move out for you. So when you get grossed out and all that stuff, say that these are the patterns that I do not want. And then it wakes the hell out of you. And then you go, shit. So do something about it rather than cycling down and go, hey, I'm fat, I'm getting worse. I'm going to beat myself up, because you've done that as well. Okay, guys? Sometimes those negative patterns, guys, they need to come out of you. The way your spirit pulls them out of you is, well, showing you point blank by maybe abusing yourself a bit more. So you wake up and you go, what the hell is that, right? Sometimes when you start to abuse yourself from an awakened state, what happens is you look at it and you go, wow, that's not right. It's not right for anybody else or for myself either. And then that's where you change. Okay. This is Lisa 1212. What do you see with my progress? I see that you're really transforming really well. There's relationships, seems like, that you're dealing with. Before they would push into you. Now you're the stronger proponent. You always were, but they would push you down or degrade you or undermine you so they can anchor in on you. But now you're standing really, really strong, which is really fantastic. So so what I was helping you is standing properly without always pushing for your ground. So confirming those deletions, you've done a fantastic job, by the way. So now helping you own it, and then you'll see that people won't treat you like that. People that need to stay around you, other people that don't, they leave, and then you'll connect with people that won't try to anchor into you. Okay, it's a really nice job. All right, guys, it's 9 o'clock. We'll start the Moss's Medihealing Sundays. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath in, just noticing where you are, guys. I'm going to get comfortable. Since it's all over the news and everybody's, into it, everybody's got sucked into it, except for those people who were XI. They're actually using it for a different purpose. We'll talk about George Floyd, the state, say, of that consciousness, or even say prejudiceness, although, it's about blacks, but it's about all prejudice, right? So let's take a deep breath in, just noticing where you are. So by that, I mean noticing, let's say, the lighting. Okay, you've got 5 senses, noticing the lighting around you, noticing, say, temperature around you, noticing sounds around you. And as you notice those, say, triangulate and, say, understand. So notice, say, where the lighting's come from. The lighting has come from, say, it's up above, to the side, whatever. And then notice your body. Okay, notice the sounds coming. Notice your body. Notice any smells. And then notice where it's coming from, and then notice your body. Again, it's like about triangulation. It pulls you into present moment states strongly, even like the taste in your mouth, temperature of your body. Wonderful breath in, belly breathing, inhaling into the chest, holding that breath. I'll connect you to the group that's here, but then let's connect you to a higher level of consciousness. Okay? So we're here connecting you to a mastermind. Most masterminds are, say, disrupted. In a negative way. This mastermind is a much higher version of you. So all of you, the better version of who you are combined, looking at the same direction for abundance. And then breath in again. Again, belly breathing, inhaling through the nose. Holding that breath. And as we exhale, settling into where we are. So the couch, the floor, wherever you are, just notice where you are. In time, spatial references. So notice, again, the floor below you, the wall, wherever it is, compared to where you are. So we're going to be talking about prejudice, not necessarily about George Floyd. Why prejudice happens at a deeper level. Why does it continue to happen? No matter what we do. And then reprogram you or disconnect you from the matrix so you stop being prejudiced. You might go, well, I'm not prejudiced. Well, prejudice shows in different forms. So notice your chest. Maybe not against color or anything, but mostly against yourself. So if you operate from fear, you'd be prejudiced. If you operate from lack, you'd be prejudiced. If you would operate from illness, you're prejudiced. And then most everybody blames something outside of themselves for this situation. If I had a better job, if I had a better relationship, if I had this, if my kids weren't there, if my spouse wasn't there, if I wasn't born in this culture, if whatever the hell it is, that's a prejudice. If you're human, you would run all the patterns, right? Human consciousness, since you're connected to that operating system or that consciousness, you would have a propensity to be prejudiced. So people of color, ethnicities, you're all prejudiced against yourself. Again, that hurts for many of you. I don't care. It's true. That's why you can't never get out of it. Okay? I'm telling you this not to get angry. If it does, it's fantastic. Do something about it. But over time, why hasn't it helped? You could spend, I don't know, Michael Jordan, I don't know, put $100 million for black rights and all that stuff. Won't fucking help. People have done much more in the past, and look where we are. So as we take a strong breath in, and they're kind people, by the way, but misinformed, just like your life. You've tried so many things, and why hasn't it worked out? Same thing here, just a bigger picture. So if it hasn't worked out at an individual level, it's not going to work out at a group level. It gets magnified, it gets worse because of the momentum. So in this session, as we take a deep breath in, noticing your spine. You can protest, you can burn down buildings, you can kill people, you can enslave people, control people, destroy people. For freedom, you can push upon your rights or demand your rights. It won't work. Again, look at history. And the reason why it comes up now, of course, there's people that say push upon you, to say separate the masses, divide and conquer. I can see that, but even them, underlying patterns of why you get divided and conquered are the reason why this stuff happens. So taking a deep breath in again. And then there are those, say, non-blacks that feel guilty. And then they'll burden themselves, right, by, say, overstepping or understepping. By treating them, again, people of color, different. Oh, I better be nice because they're black, and I better be extra nice. It's the worst fucking thing you can do, guys. Strong breath in again. And I know this pushes people the wrong way. I don't care. I'm here for the truth. I'm here to change the world. Might not be what you want to hear, but that's what you need to hear to, say, transform and shift. I'm not here to be nice or be liked. I'm here to shift the world. Most people, when they start shifting, they might not like me, but later on, They respect me at a deep level because their life, say, performed at a much higher level, right? And it's not that you don't like me, or some of you, especially you are new. It's because all your bullshit that you try to cover, I see, and I force you to see it. That's what you don't like. People like me, and again, I'm probably the only one, that pushes you to the point that you see your weaknesses for what they are. Okay? So strong breath in again, noticing your spine, noticing the forehead. Many people who are prejudiced or are the opposite always come from a head space. If you come from a headspace, no matter whether you're white, black, yellow, green, purple, people don't see your original form. People don't see the beauty in your differences. So that's number one for the people in color or Chinese or whatever. That's why you keep reinventing. That's why you have a victim pattern that keeps abusing you. By the way, even blacks abuse blacks. Right? So it's not, again, prejudice or segregation. But that's the reason why. So one, let's pull you into your body complete. Notice how you feel. Notice how you feel about being prejudiced. Whether you're a victim or you're trying to right or appease the victims. Notice how you feel about yourself. There's a lack of identity for you. You don't go, I'm white, I'm black, I'm a woman, I'm this, I'm that. Does that make sense to you? You don't identify with those things anymore. Again, this isn't hypnosis. So if you want to be locked into that position, I can help you do that. All you have to do is commit and say yes. Basically, it's a non-biased position about yourself. So say yes, and then notice your spine from the top, that beautiful, gentle curve, the mid-back, and then back into your lower back, that other curve, and into your tailbone. For those who have back issues, I'll just work on that for you. Wonderful breath in. I want to stay in time here. As I tap into the group, do you notice how you're all settled? You're looking at it from a higher perspective, and you're looking at things not from this conscious logic, which is not logical, from a much higher logic level. And again, it's out of emotions, spiritual, religion, love, and all that stuff. Those are low-level frequencies, by the way. I don't care what you've heard. They're low-level because they can be manipulated, right? Including love. One of the most destructive forces. I'll talk about that since it comes up for a lot of you. Holy shit. So let me finish off the prejudice side, and then we'll talk about love. And then how to love yourself properly. Okay. A lot of garbage is coming off you guys now that you're neutral or non-judgmental or not prejudiced. All you have to do is notice your spine, notice your breathing as you listen to my voice. So when, say, whites or opposites, especially nowadays, everybody's sensitive about blacks. They're nicer to them. But you know what that pattern is? And again, you should always be nice to whoever, no matter what color, nationality, and all that, outside of that, okay? But, when you're nice to people because a situation happened, at a deeper level, when I see people like that, and this was why people feel guilty, is one, you start to take the burdens of, say, the person or the group that you're trying to help. Never works out. Say they have 100 pounds of burden, you're going, hey, let me take that 100 pounds of burden. You're burdened with 100 pounds. More like 1,billion pounds. But then they produce another 100 pounds of burden because they don't know what else to do. So I'm helping you try to, again, disconnect from creating, disconnect from harboring or holding. So the frequency that happens when you're nice, the way most people are now, is basically you're looking at colored people as handicapped. So, and then they're handicapped, so we're going to be nice to them. Handicaps don't even like that type of treatment. It's not a good thing. Mark my words. So let's take a deep breath in. And you go, well, how do you treat them? Well, treat them as human. Simple as that. When I first saw the black things on social media, I'll tell you how, say, non-prejudice, I thought the picture wasn't loading. And then somebody told me, it's like, well, it's to honor, Black Lives Matter. And it didn't register. It's like, honor. Why does that honor? It just, say, puts in that nail in that coffin, and then that separation even more. But again, for me, it just didn't register. It just didn't register. Because I see people and I see them, and then I see the beauty of who they are, no matter who they are. Simple as that. But if you go, hey, he's black, he's Chinese, he's this, he's a woman, she's a woman. I better act this way. It's not truthful. So let's take a deep breath in. Enough of that. You can notice how you feel. Let's dismantle love for you. Because people go, well, love is the most powerful emotion. You know, that love has made men do tons of whatever. But most individuals don't operate from that kind of definition of love. Most individuals want somebody to love themselves for who they are, but then you don't even love yourself for who you are. So why would you expect somebody else to go, hey, you're okay, be the same way that you are, and then hold on to your burdens, hold on to your abuse, hold on. Does that feel like love to you? Most people expect that. And as I generate those frequencies, many of you, I can see you're short-circuiting because that's your identity. I want somebody to love me. You're always searching for somebody to love you. But that separation is between you, your higher self. You can never be loved. You can never be complete. You can never be solid if you don't have that connection between you and yourself. And I'm not saying you should love yourself the way you are. It's pretty hard, especially if you've been abused. Because what you're seeing is your physical rendition of what you've become or what your life has become. So let me help you see yourself from that pure version that has a pure definition of love. All you have to do is take a deep breath in. Love means many different things. Say that you've been abused back in the day. But the only time people paid attention to you is to abuse you. So now you equate love with abuse. Many of you run that pattern. You equate burden with love. You equate the love of God with burden. So basically, the more burden you have upon life, the more you should be loved, even from an outside source, from a heaven source, from a God source, from other people. Think of the logic, guys. It just doesn't work. All you need is to be or understand or live from a higher frequency of who you are, the pure version of who you are. That's the love you're looking for, by the way. Many of you have kids wondering why they don't love you. It's like, shit, I gave my life for them. I did everything for them. And then they don't love me. I'm not saying you did it wrong. I'm not saying you did it right. But why did that happen? Many of you have held on to burdens of other people more and more, and then they do things that are not of love, and you go, well, what the hell happened? Again, just more proof. Many of you give yourself away, especially women, sex and so on like that. To feel loved never works out. Many of you will want to be successful so you can be liked and loved more. Never works out. Look at all the people that are like that. So again, the definition of love in society is what's messed up. So let's trash that definition. By the way, it will mess you up. Strong breath in. Just got a few minutes left, guys. As a note, many of you will feel a void. Many of you will feel useless. Many of you will feel no good. And that's a good thing. Again, it sounds weird. The reason why it's good is because your definition of love was based on that. So as you move away from that definition, you'll see why you wanted love. So don't look at it as a bad thing. Just look at it as that's why I wanted love. And then you'll know why love didn't work out for you. Whether it's a parent love, child love, intimate love, friend love, love of life, love of nature, God, whatever it is. Okay? It's all the same. It's different versions, layers. So again, I stress when you feel, say, the opposite, right? A void, a lack, abuse, right? If you've equated, again, abuse to love, you'll feel like, well, the abuse that you've had. Or you might feel like, say, abusing yourself, or you're not good enough, or whatever it is. Again, that's that pattern showing itself for you. So it's a fantastic opportunity for you to go, oh, that's the type of definition of love I was running. Okay, so you allow that to release and observe just by observing. Okay? I've done the back end work, reprogrammed you, again, all of you. I'm not going to talk about how I do that. Okay? It'll take weeks, but just notice the changes in your life. Okay? I don't need to work on you individually. And then as you feel that void or whatever that you might feel, the real version of love, the one that you've always been looking for, that you don't find hardly ever here in this consciousness, will start to blossom in you. And then that deep, like many of you ex-ires, you know, that deep love that many of you are feeling for yourself, that's what many of you will start to feel. Those who are already feeling it, you'll even get a grander version of it. And that's how you end up prejudice and all that other bullshit that's happening in the world. Strong deep breath in again. Stay in the space for as long as you wish. Yeah, for more information on me, you Google me, YouTube, go to massajati.com. Guys, this isn't psychology, state changes, anything like that. Any aspect of your life changes, including cellular structure, the way you age, the way you get ill, obviously wealth and all those things that we seek. Those are, instead of spending your whole life for that, you know, we do that in a heartbeat for you. So you start shifting so you be your best possible self. A lot of good events coming up as well. So take a look at the website for that as well. All right, guys. And as always, notice what you notice and then start noticing the details of what you're noticing. All right. Peace.